Alright, this is going to be a little bit different than what I normally do. I'm going to try to do like a history video, kind of just recapping the importance of one of the most popular cars that's not popular. It came out right around when I was born. Became popular right around when I was in middle school. Everyone's made fun of these cars, stand-up comedians, people on South Park. This is the Prius. And I know it's probably not the most exciting car to hear a history of, but look, you made it here. It's freaking interesting, and these cars have changed and revolutionized how we hope and see cars and expect cars to drive and feel, and their economy, and how auto manufacturers make cars. Toyota fucked it up with this thing, man. Like, they know what's up, and they did it right. So, in honor of one of my favorite series online, here's a history of the Prius.
I'ma keep this like you come through like you stepping up. I'ma come through, wanna check it, yeah, I'm stepping up. Never back down, cause I'm flows like my rubber up.
Also, like, subscribe, hit the follow button, do all the things. Oh my god, please help me. I'd really appreciate anyone that likes and subscribes to the video. I wrote a whole script. I did a whole thing. Let's see how we do. So you want to make a car out of electricity, but you realize that isn't a realistic goal currently. It's the 1990s. It's a wild time. What do? Well, if you're Toyota, you've been working on this. You've been thinking about this. It's not out of the realm of possibilities, but it's not time for the full EV yet. It is time for something else. You split the difference and you do both. You build a wildly efficient 4-cylinder engine, and you smack it on a hybrid electric battery pack with a transfer to electric motor assist. What do you call it? You call it the Prius. Born in 1997. That was the first year that the Priuses came out. 1.5 liter, 4-cylinder, naturally aspirated beast. Gets 40 to 45 miles per gallon in the 90s. People didn't know what to do, didn't know what to think. Like, that's crazy. How are you doing that? They're doing it by producing a gas engine that makes 70 horsepower and electric motors producing 44 horsepower for a combined total 110 horsepower, which is less than if you add them both together, but there's friction in science and things happen, and it's not exactly the same. But you get that, and you get like the coolest little sedan ever that makes super efficient freaking driving, and like everyone loved it. They loved it so much that it led to the future, the next 3 decades. Toyota solely focused on this one thing, and they fucking nailed it. They did this generation from 97 to 03. Now in 03, the Gen 2 Prius was born. It went from the sedan to its iconic little hatchback weird design that has had so many variations and little changes and things that most people can just see the outline of its little egg-shaped body and just know that's a Prius. Now, it's not necessarily the most popular design, but it is absolutely iconic. It's where you think Prius, weird egg, little hatch, little freaking giant thing. It's monstrous, but somehow it's efficient. It's getting 45 to 48 miles per gallon, depending on how you drive. Some people were pushing this thing all the way to 50 miles per gallon already. This is crazy. I had a friend that had one in high school. We drove like 600 miles on $12. Not because gas was 50 cents a gallon, because I'm not that old. It was like $4. We lived in California. It was expensive, but we still got to do all that kind of stuff in the Prius because it's so efficient. They're so good. This generation of Prius is the epitome of Toyota. It is reliable. It is efficient. It is boring. But that's what they wanted. They wanted these cars to be easy for anyone to hop in and drive and just feel comfortable and confident that they're going to get where they need to go with all their stuff in the back, and they're going to get 50 miles per gallon. Like, If you've only got $6 and you need to go 100 miles, you can do that with a Prius. This generation, I've literally seen these cars with 250,000 miles on the frame, on the car, still going. These hybrid technology was so amazing. What did they do? They designed better ones. Gen 3, 2009 to 2015. You get more efficient. You thought the Gen 2 was efficient? You're serious? It was fine, but the Gen 3 is where you started to get 50 miles per gallon consistently. Not only that, you got the Prius V, which was the wagon, the Prius C, the mini version of the hatchback, and the first Prius plug-in hybrid. They changed the game here, folks. They made a plug-in electric vehicle with a gas drivetrain attached to it. You want to drive 20 miles on just the battery? You can do that. It's a fully EV. But when that dies because you forgot to charge it overnight, you still have the gas engine. You've got ICE, baby. And they're going to be driving wherever you need to go to get to plug into the next spot so that you can just keep going. 50 miles per gallon plus the EV range. You got like 110 miles per gallon electric, whatever the fuck that they rate. However they do that. It's crazy. And these things were just the beginning of that technology. 2009 to 2015, Gen 3. Boom, you're efficient. But what's that leaving? That leaves 2015 to 2022, Gen 4 Toyota Prius. They came back swinging again. They refined a whole new architecture. TNGA, Toyota New Global Architecture. And what is that? That is the beginning of everything is a Prius. They started with the Prius and they made their hybrid technology good. And then they made it better. And then they made it great. And then they made it everything. A RAV4, just a Prius with a slightly different body. A freaking Camry. It's a Prius, but it's shaped like a Camry. And it's got just as efficient everything. You want a Corolla? That's going to be a stocky Prius. Sedan Prius. You want a hatchback Prius? Well, that's the regular Prius. You did it. You named every Toyota lineup sedan. Yeah, they have the Tundras, the Tacomas, the Sequoias, the 4Runners, but if you're looking at anything but those four, you're buying a Prius. How do you want it to be shaped? The Crown is the newest one, and that's brand new, and it's just a super Prius. 2009 to 2015. Oh no, I'm on the next one. 2015 to 2022. Gen 4 Toyota came up with a whole new platform. TNGA, everything but the SUVs. And even some of the compact SUVs, like I said, the CHR, the RAV4, all of those are just Priuses. But they're shaped weird. They really used the Prius as an experiment and reaped some cool benefits down the line in the current generation of vehicles. You thought TNGA 1, everything was Prius? TNGA, I think they're on 2 now, the newest TNGA global architecture, whatever. Priuses took a hit. This is 2023 now. We are in the modern age of Prius. We have basically screamed through the history. It is just minor development. Oh wow, we're getting awesome efficiency. Everything is about efficiency. I want this car to be the pinnacle of every mile you get, you deserve, because it is so efficient. Well, in 2023, they wanted the Prius to be cool. They squatted down the roof. They widened out the tires. They actually gave it a design that lost its efficiency for the first time in 23 years, 26 years. They lost efficiency. They did that so that people would stop talking shit about the Priuses. They're cool now. They got some wide angles. They look really good. They're awesome. Well, Toyota detracted from efficiency for styling, and they wanted it to drive better. They wanted it to handle better. They wanted it to look better. And it does all of that. And then what did the public say? Ew, it's still a Prius. Ew, now that's worse. All the Prius drivers that actually own Priuses don't like it because it's not the Prius anymore. All the people that don't like Priuses don't like it because it still says Prius. Some people liked it. It is a great car. I think they're amazing. I'm making a whole video on Priuses. Obviously, I think they're cool. But they got some heat. And I don't think it was deserved, because Toyota set out to make the best version of the Prius. And what they sacrificed was the storage. They sacrificed the iconic hump that some people love for some reason, because people start to love things that everybody else hated forever ago. And that's fine. It just wasn't the same. And it didn't appeal hard enough to the people. All they had to do was not call it a Prius, and people would have loved this car off rip. The Corollas, the hybrid technology, everything about it that has led up to this moment where you can have this cool car that is still insanely efficient and getting you 50 miles a gallon. And just call it the Corolla XL or the Corolla, I don't know. Yeah, they just shot themselves in the foot by calling it a Prius, because people already had a stigma. Now, I used to dislike hybrids, and so did most people. The fear of the batteries going out, the complexity of the electric motors, it all seemed like too much. And those things may happen. Rarely, over 30 years, everything's going to fail. Some batteries aren't as good as the others, and Toyota does their best to take care of that. And yeah, sometimes it's expensive when they do fail. But I think we're finally in the era of the Prius is cool, and whether it's an old one or a new one, the reliability speaks for itself. They're still on the road for a reason. People know what they look like and have come to truly appreciate the Prius being a cool car. That's what they wanted, and that's what they got. Now, I think everyone should get a Prius. My last video had a Reddit person asking about a 116,000 mile, 20-something-year-old Prius. And my best advice is to snatch it up. For $5,000, you can get 50 miles a gallon for $5,000. My first car got 11 miles a gallon. And then it blew up several times because the engine was fucking air cooled. And that's not a good design. That's not an efficient design, but the Prius is. They're cool now. I promise. Especially the old ones. The new ones are cool, but the old ones, there's something about them that scratches that itch that people really, really like. And I think the hate was too much and undeserved. So that's just me. If you like the video, like, subscribe. I'm trying to do new things and try out new stuff. And anyone that stick around all the way to here, hopefully, you learn something about the Prius, and maybe I'll do a better history of things. I'm just nervous because I'm trying to make new styles of things. Like, subscribe. Peace.